most powerful warship on Earth is loose in the Atlantic. The German battleship Bismarck wields the firepower to crush any ship in the Allied fleet. The British must call on courageous airmen flying outdated swordfish biplanes to help hunt down Hitler's superweapon and pound her into oblivion. Now, through remarkable computer animation, it's a dogfight on the sea. The incredible story of the life and death of Germany's greatest warship and the air power that turned the tide. Experience the battle, dissect the tactics, relive the hunt for the Bismarck. May 24, 1941. Dawn. Two lethal German warships race through the frigid waters of the North Atlantic. The heavy cruiser Prinz Eugen leads the formation. Behind her looms a fortress of guns and steel, battleship Bismarck. Bismarck, the largest warship afloat, is on her maiden voyage, a top-secret mission, codenamed Exercise Rhine. The Germans plan: steal into the Atlantic undetected and attack Allied convoys.
Convoys are absolutely vital. These are Britain's lifeline. Without them, Britain will fall. If a ship like the Bismarck finds a convoy, none of the escorts that the convoy has are big enough to take her on.
Ernst Lindemann is captain of the great battleship. But the mission is so important, a battle-tested veteran, Fleet Admiral Gunther Lütjens, commands from the bridge. Heinrich Kundt is a 24-year-old machinist's mate.
Indirekt war auf der Bismarck dann eine...
On Bismarck, we eagerly anticipated the mission. We knew Bismarck was the most powerful battleship afloat. But we also knew the British outnumbered us, and wondered as we put to sea, what will happen?
Im Atlantik dran gedacht.
Unknown to the Germans, 30 miles to the southeast, two British ships steer an intercept course at full speed. The battleship Prince of Wales and the pride of the British Navy, HMS Hood. Admiral Lancelot Holland commands the operation from Hood. Ted Briggs is an 18-year-old signalman.
Hood's reputation was fantastic. She was the be-all and end-all as far as we were concerned. Without a doubt, she was the most famous warship of any kind, of any country.
Admiral Holland's battle plan has already suffered a setback. He had hoped to beat the Germans to the mouth of the Denmark Strait and cross their T, positioned to fire all his guns in full broadside. But during the night, the British lose contact with the enemy. The morning finds them out of position. The Germans now have the upper hand.
The Germans find that they have achieved completely by accident the tactical advantage that sailors since Nelson have been looking for. They're effectively crossing the T of the enemy. This means that Bismarck can bring all her guns to bear, whilst the British are steaming in column and only their forward guns can bear initially.
But the British steam in unafraid. Hood is the embodiment of British sea power. At 5:52 a.m., 14 miles from the Germans, Hood shoots first. The shells land off Prinz Eugen's starboard bow. A salvo from Prince of Wales quickly follows. The British shells miss their mark. British armor-piercing shells plunge into the sea. Huge columns of water erupt around the German ships, but Admiral Lütjens holds his fire.
Und so viel ich mich erinnern kann, haben wir etwas früher gewechselt,
We went to action stations and were waiting for orders to fire. The anticipation was unbearable. We knew we were under attack. But why weren't we shooting back?
Lutyens' job, as he saw it, was not to fight warships. His job was to destroy commerce. If he was badly damaged, he'd have to return to port, his mission over.
The British blast away. Shells scream over the German ships at almost 2,000 miles per hour. But Lutyens still refuses to return fire. Finally, a frustrated Captain Lindemann steps in and says, "I will not have my ship shot out from under my ass." Bismarck opens fire. Lethal one-ton shells tear toward Hood. Germany has unleashed the fury of the most powerful warship on Earth. February 14th, 1939, Hamburg, Germany. It's a glorious day for the Third Reich, christening Hitler's mightiest triumph, the battleship Bismarck. German newsreels proudly claim the great ship weighs 35,000 tons, the legal limit set by international naval treaties after World War I. The truth is a closely guarded secret. Bismarck weighs an astonishing 50,000 tons.
Wir waren, als wir die Bismarck sahen in Hamburg,
When we saw Bismarck in Hamburg, we were tremendously surprised at its size. Some compartments on Bismarck were 3 stories high. I'd never seen a ship so impressive.
She's nearly 1/6 of a mile long. Her sides are armored with 13 inches of steel, and her 118-foot beam creates a uniquely stable platform for her 8 15-inch guns.
Not only was I extremely proud to get back ships of that size, it was the biggest and was the extreme sign of power.
On May 18, 1941, Bismarck secretly embarks on Exercise Rhine. But 3 days later, a Royal Air Force Spitfire photographs Bismarck near Bergen, Norway. The Royal Navy quickly dispatches battleship Prince of Wales and Britain's largest warship, HMS Hood. When commissioned in 1920, Hood was the longest and fastest warship in the world. She's 860 feet long and weighs 48,000 tons. Both Hood and Bismarck are armed with 8 15-inch guns that can hurl 1,700-pound shells over 15 miles. But Bismarck's newer guns can fire 3 shells a minute to Hood's 2. The critical difference is armor. Bismarck, a battleship, is heavily armored. Hood, a battle cruiser built for speed, is not.
They were designed to hunt down and sink enemy cruisers. They were never designed to stand up in a line of battle against battleships.
The armor